Runner.
What's up everybody, Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner here for another GingerRunner.com review. This is the one that you have been asking for a long time, and I've been waiting to do for a long time. I donned the hat, I put on a shirt, and I'm ready to review it. The SAUCONY KINVARA 5. Oh boy. Now before I get into the review, I have to make sure that I thank runningshoes.com for sending me this review sample. I put a link to the KINVARA 5s on their website if you want to go check them out. And let them know the Ginger Runner sent you. Those of you who have been following me and watching my videos for a long time know that I love the SAUCONY KINVARA. I ran in the 1, the 3, the 4, and most recently the 5. And those of you who run in the KINVARAs might be wondering, does the KINVARA 5 live up to the previous versions of the shoe? And I have good news for you, and that's that it does, yes, it absolutely does. There are a number of notable changes that I will let you know about now in this particular shoe, so just so you know, if you go out and buy a KINVARA 5, it's gonna be a little bit different than the KINVARA 4. I gotta warn you now. For example, the upper is quite a bit different. We have some flex film welded overlays that are in different locations here. They actually provide a little bit more durability, hopefully, by their location, so you don't bust toes out here in the upper, which is great. The tongue is a bit different. It's a lot thicker, a little bit more padded. There's also this Pro Lock feature, which I'll get to in the review. The heel cup is shaped quite a bit differently. You'll see it's a little bit more low cut along the back. The inside is made of a different material, and they added a little bit more lateral side outsole potting. You can see that right here. It's not rubber outsole, it's actually EVA, just different colored EVA, but it adds a little bit more stability right there through the midfoot. But overall, the shoe isn't too much different, especially when you get your feet into it. Just some little details to note. It's a great shoe, it's comfortable, it's fast. I have a lot of things I like about it. It basically gives me hopes and dreams about running a PR in a marathon someday. I will most likely be wearing this particular shoe in the 2014 San Francisco Marathon, which is actually coming up in a couple of weeks. That being said, let's just get on with the things that I like about the SAUCONY KINVARA 5. It's light, and I'm gonna say a little bit lighter than the KINVARA 4, about 0.3 ounces. Not that you'll notice that, but you might. The shoe weighs in at 7.6 ounces. The KINVARA 4, mine, weighed in at about 7.8, 7.9 ounces. I still think they can go lighter on this shoe, but my logic is telling me that Saucony doesn't want to do that with this particular shoe, because then it will start eating into the A6 category, or maybe turning into too lightweight of a training shoe. Not quite sure that logic. I often have dumb logic. It's flexible, like the previous versions. The shoe can flex everywhere. Why am I singing it? I don't know, but you're welcome. Cushioned. As with previous versions, it's super comfortable. The cushion in this shoe is great. It's perfect for those of you who are training for a marathon or half marathon. Those distances anywhere in there, the shoe can just clobber them with cushioned ease. The upper, I actually really like the upper in this shoe. It is a little bit tighter around the midfoot, but that's because of this Pro Lock thing. I don't mind it because overall the upper retains that comfort from previous versions. It's really nice, it's soft, your foot can go in there, whether socked or sockless, doesn't matter. However you like your feet coated. And I have to say, I like the ride in this shoe and how it hasn't changed. So often you try new shoes or new versions of shoes that you maybe have been running in for seasons, and for some reason the manufacturer has changed something that has altered the ride of the shoe and makes it a completely new shoe that you just get so frustrated with. I'm happy to report that this has the same ride as previous versions, pretty much the same outsole all the way around, same EVA. The upper has changed a little bit, easy to get used to, so overall the ride is the same and I like that. Styling. I actually like the styling of this shoe better than the previous versions. I still think Saucony can work on some of the coloring. I would still really like to see Saucony allow this to be a customizable shoe, just because I feel like this needs to be their bread and butter shoe. It's so good. But overall, I'm pleased with the styling of the KINVARA 5. And finally, I believe they resolved the durability issues. So far in this shoe, I haven't had any durability issues. I have about 50 miles on this particular shoe. I plan on putting hundreds more in it. I will have to report back to you whether or not the shoe lasts that long, but overall, I've been pleased. Comparing it to the KINVARA 4, I was already busting some holes into this upper at the same mile mark, so I'm really happy to report that this seems to be dealing with the mileage a little bit better than the previous version. Hey, it's not all rainbows and kitten paws. There's a couple of things that I dislike about this shoe, and they all involve this area right up here. First of all, the Pro Lock. The Pro Lock is essentially this band that extends from the strobel board around the foot and then connects via laces right here in the middle. So it essentially tightens the shoe around your midfoot. Much like the nav band on a Brooks shoe, however the nav band doesn't work. This does, almost to a detriment. You have to make sure that you accurately tie your laces and get that tightening down just right, otherwise your foot is going to be squished right there in the middle, and that's not necessarily good. While I don't suffer from PF, I know a lot of people that do right around that midfoot area, and I would be concerned that this new Pro Lock feature might pull too hard on that arch and cause discomfort. Hasn't bugged me too much now that I've kind of laced it a little bit looser around that Pro Lock feature, but I can imagine it could be bothersome to some. And finally, the tongue. Look at this thing. It looks like a 1997 Reebok pump. It's just big. It's super thick and padded. And it has these little wings on the outside that just make it, she want to fly away. I have to say, I wish they would be a little bit more minimal with the tongue. I understand that it's a gusseted tongue. It actually kind of envelops the foot a little bit. It also works with that Pro Lock feature. But man, every time I lace up the shoes, I actually have to spend extra time tucking the tongue in, making sure everything is aligned, that there's no fabric folded over each other, causing discomfort. And that's a pain in the ass. Not quite sure what they were thinking with the tongue, mixed with the Pro Lock, mixed with the area of the shoe. I don't really know what the hell they were thinking. Regardless, the shoe is still as comfortable as I remember the Kinvara 4 being. I will run many miles in this shoe. Take a gander at the Kinvara if you have not already. If you're getting to that midfoot, forefoot running style, this is a great shoe for you as well with the 4mm drop. It's really nice and comfy. So that pretty much wraps up my review. I think many of you will be happy to hear that I am happy with this shoe. But before I let you go, I gotta get on with the points. Quality, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. In the Kinvara 4, I gave it 3 out of 5 because it was busting out a little bit, which was unfortunate. But this shoe has not been busting out at all, despite busting out a move. So I have to give it that additional point, 4 out of 5. I am worried that it might potentially bust out in the future. I'll have to update you guys later, but right now it looks great. Comfort, as with previous versions, 5 out of 5. It's just a fantastic, comfortable running shoe. I know for a fact I could run a marathon in these shoes right out of the box because I'm so used to this shoe already. I know that I could log the miles in here and it wouldn't hurt my feet or do any sort of damage or any of that kind of stuff. I just really think it's a comfortable, neutral, natural running shoe. Price, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. It's at that $100 price point, which is just kind of that tipping point for me where anything below that is a and everything above that is a maybe I should just give noise scores from here on out. And you can get previous versions for even less than that if that is something that you wanna do. And finally, looks, 4 out of 5. I think it's a pretty flashy shoe. I think it's pretty good. I like this new styling better than the previous versions. I think it's good. I like it. It's bright. It's fun. It looks fast. And we all know that if a shoe looks fast, it makes you faster. So that brings our grand total to 17 out of 20, which is a fantastic score for the Saucony Kinvara 5. If you have not run in the Kinvara, why don't you give it a shot? Why don't you go to a running store near you, put your foot into it, and give it a shot. Give it a run. And when you're done, why don't you come on back here and let me know in the comments below what you think of the Kinvara 5. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you hate me? And don't forget to check out runningshoes.com. They have this shoe and many others. I have to thank them for sending me the review sample. It was really nice of them. So that's it for today's review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And also like, favorite, and share this video with everybody because, you know, that's the only way that we can spread the Ginger Runner word. And don't forget, you can find me on all the social networks. You can find me over on Twitter at The Ginger Runner, on Facebook, facebook.com/TheGingerRunner, on Instagram at Ethan Newberry, and of course, GingerRunner.com. I'm also doing live shows every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where you can just tune in and watch me talk about running, cycling, all sorts of things. I bring on guests. It's just a lot of fun. And I have all my archived episodes over there on the YouTube channel, which is actually probably where you are right now. So why don't you subscribe? I hope you guys are getting out there training hard, racing harder, and partying the hardest. I know I am. I'm gonna breathe now. And then train, race, beer. See you guys next time.